Welcome everyone. Let's talk about emotions and the moon. In the coming moon month, and indeed right through the month of May, we have an unprecedented number of void of course moon periods, and they're huge. Sometimes when we go through what we call a void of course moon period, which is when the energy of the moon is a lot less boundaried, we can see a lot more emotionally reactive behaviour. We can lose our focus, lose our direction, feel a bit out at sea, a bit misty and foggy in our mind, and certainly a little more confused emotionally. When this happens, it can be just a few minutes long, or it can be a couple of hours long. So very often we don't notice those little pockets of time. But every now and then we get huge pockets, 12 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours. Now those are rare, but towards the end of April and right through the month of May, we have huge void of course moon periods, 12 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours and more, one after the other, after the other, after the other. And this is happening at a time when we also have 10 planetary bodies in Aries, which means there's a great emphasis on us each individually in terms of how we respond to the incoming energy. A lot of opportunity for self-mastery, for self-awareness, but my goodness me, it's not always arriving in an easy form. And with all of these void of course moon periods, I think we might see quite a lot of emotionally reactive behaviours. Even if you are super, super emotionally aware and super, super lunar aware, I think it's highly likely you're going to see behaviours in other people that are responding to this energy without awareness. So I'm going to run you through the incoming energy for the entire moon month, and I'm going to show you when all of these void of course periods are happening. You might want to grab a pen and a paper and make a note of some of them, because some of them, honestly, they're just huge. And it'll be interesting to see how that energy impacts on us each individually. Do comment, do let me know as the moon month progresses. But seriously, I think this is really worth making a note of these times and being super, super aware of them. So, beautiful souls, thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe and press the little bell icon if you want to make sure you never miss anything that I post here. And let's get to it. Let's have a look at the incoming energy for the entire coming moon month. So for anyone that is new to working with the moon, a moon month lasts about 29 and a half days approximately, and every moon month begins with a new moon. We're about to have a new moon in Aries. Each of the moon phases has a very different sort of energy flow to it, and I'll talk you through this as we look at the different moon phases as we go through the month and we check in with those void of course periods. Now, just to give you an idea of the enormity of what's coming, these are the void of course moon dates where there was anything of any significance in April. And you can see that actually at the time of uploading this video, we still have 3 more void of course periods that I would consider to be significant. On the 17th, we have a 4-hour, 7-minute one. On the 20th through to the 21st, we have 35 hours, 43 minutes. That's nearly 34 hours. On the 30th of April through to the 1st of May, we have a 10-hour, 11-minute void of course period. But just check out May. This is how many we have. It's right the way through May, and we are looking at nearly 22 hours. I mean, the first one is Scorpio into Sagittarius, 21 hours, 47 minutes. Then we have 21 hours, 33 minutes, 17 hours, 10 minutes, 12 hours, 32, 14 hours and 1 minute. We have a small one, 4 hours, 59. On the 17th to 19th, 30 hours, 11 minutes, followed by another 32 hours, 52, followed by 13 hours, 41, 13 hours, 57, 12 hours, 41, and then finally on the 31st of May through to the 2nd of June, another 35-hour, 59-minute void of course period. So you can really see why I'm raising this as a, let's just be aware of this, because these huge pockets of void of course energy can really have the most massive impact on the way in which we feel emotionally. I've also noticed big shifts and changes taking place during these times. It's almost as though the energy is freed up to move and shift. This can be very, very exciting, but it can be incredibly challenging as well. Now, our first void of course moon, which is actually a smallish one of 4 hours, 7 minutes, comes immediately after the new moon. The overall dynamics, actually, of the new moon in Aries are quite intense. They're also very focused. And the moon connects with Chiron. This is a very powerful connection that calls for healing. And also there's a very strong push in the overall dynamics to address any underlying issues that may have remained buried or been kept beneath the surface. So I would expect a heightened emotional vulnerability to be around on the day of the new moon. And we then move into that void of course period, so be very conscious of this. Now, this could really help us. It could bring the potential for incredible moments of inspiration, imagination, and creativity. This is the higher vibration of the energy. But try to remain grounded. Give your imagination a free rein, but if you're feeling foggy or confused, be conscious of that, because it really could sort of go in either direction depending on what's happening for you. You know, whatever fires you up today on the day of the new moon, whatever inspires you, apply it to your new moon wishes and intentions with awareness. So if something fires you up negatively, then put in a new moon wish or a new moon intention for the opposite. Or indeed to ask for a situation to be resolved or to be released. If something is firing you up and it's absolutely amazing, then put in a wish to fire that up and get the lunar energy behind you to move that forwards positively. But this is a day to be very conscious of your thoughts, your words and your deeds, and make sure that they are in alignment with the high vibration of a new humanity, of the world that we are moving into. Now I'm going to bring the new moon timings up onto the screen. It's really valuable to know this exact point because this is a point of fertility, it's a point of power, and it's ideal if you're setting those wishes and intentions to align them with this exact point. It's like a point of conception when the sun and the moon, the masculine and the feminine, come together, and then for the 8 hours afterwards. But of course, remember, as we go into the 8 hours afterwards, we're going to move pretty quickly into that void of course period. So be very conscious of that energy. We then move into the waxing crescent moon phase. Now this is from April the 18th to the 23rd, and the moon is going to pass through Taurus, Gemini, Cancer and into Leo. Now, this waxing crescent moon phase is kind of embodying the flavour of the overall energy for April. It really invites us to embrace advancements and opportunities, and also to shift our perspectives and to see things differently and to do things differently, to shift old habits and patterns and attitudes that no longer serve us. And although the overall flow of energy is very strong, it is also favourable, but it's the strength of energy that is challenging. We are going to see some challenges through this time. In a way, the purpose, the higher purpose, is to help us to identify what needs to change, but it doesn't always mean that things are easy. Now, when the moon passes through Cancer, the lunar influence is going to create a very strong energetic, like a surge of energy coming in. And this suggests the potential for a much more heightened emotionality. And we have this massive 35 hours, 43 minutes of the void of course moon as the moon moves through Gemini. It's sort of before the moon arrives in Cancer. So this could actually contribute to the arrival of the heightened emotionality within Cancer. It's certainly going to be like a build-up. So if you find yourself feeling a bit wobbly or you're uncertain or confused, do your absolute utmost not to react. the overall flow of positive opportunity is still there, alongside the ongoing underlying energetics of determination as well. So this should help to counterbalance any confusion. It should help to keep you on track. But if you are having a real wobble, press the pause button, become an observer of how you're feeling before deciding how to then move forwards. The moon then reaches her first quarter position in Leo, and this will be on April the 23rd or 24th, depending on where you are on our beautiful planet. And this first quarter moon is fabulous. Now, there's a really big surge of extremely positive energy arriving today, which, following the confused energy of the huge void of course period as the moon moved into Cancer, I think this is just what we need. Now, a first quarter moon is traditionally associated with events and circumstances arriving to show us exactly what is needed, either to move through and beyond a problem, or to enhance and improve areas of our lives that are already working and help them to work even better. And today the overall energetics suggest a surge of really positive possibilities that support us to break out of routines and habits that are no longer working, to find new and innovative ways to transform and to grow. This is really a day when embracing changes could be feeling really joyous, really exciting, rather than daunting or fearful. So this is absolutely fabulous, following the previous sort of moon phase when there could have been a little bit of confusion, sometimes even potentially quite a lot of confusion. So use this energy well. Bookmark this page in your diary, lean into the opportunities and enable the lunar energy to help you to move forwards. This can really enhance your progress. The moon then moves into her waxing gibbous moon phase. This is from April the 25th to the 30th, and she'll pass through Leo, Virgo, Libra, and into Scorpio. And it's when she moves from Libra into Scorpio that we have a 10-hour, 11-minute void of course period. Now, to be honest, this moon phase is a bit of a mixed bag and potentially a bit of a roller coaster in terms of shifts and changes in the energy. And although there is a continued flow of underlying positivity that's present throughout, the overall astrodynamics do suggest the possibility for unexpected events and circumstances. And although the higher vibration of these energies could bring dynamic advancements and the emergence of new technologies, the lower vibration of these dynamics could suggest erratic and impulsive behaviour and some really rather rapid and chaotic change. Now, the moon is gathering in strength. The waxing gibbous moon phase is the period where she moves from the quarter moon to the full moon. So emotionally, things are gathering. And there's also a really strong karmic feel to the lunar influence during this moon phase. So there's a sort of sense of fate and destiny around. So I feel that this moon time could be really exciting, but also a bit unpredictable. And I would just ask you to be conscious of this. Lean into the highest vibration of the changes that are occurring, because it almost feels as though it's one of those times when change is going to happen. You know, whether we like it or not, change is happening. So let's jump on board with those changes and become an active participant in how we wish to steer them. And be conscious of that void of course pocket of time when the moon moves from Libra and then into Scorpio. It's 10 hours, 11 minutes. But a void of course in Libra means that we're often shown things that are out of balance, out of kilter. So if you find yourself feeling out of balance or out of kilter, note whether or not we are in that void of course pocket, and then be prepared to use what you see in order to then create changes, because the overall flow of energy in this moon time is all about change. We then have the full moon in Scorpio. Now, this will be on May the 1st or 2nd, depending on where you are in the world. And remember, we've arrived at this full moon from that void of course period when we moved from Libra into Scorpio. Now, a full moon will naturally illuminate things, and this full moon in Scorpio brings a pocket of time that really encourages deep introspection with an opportunity to then take action. This is a moon that calls for transformation and the letting go of anything that is no longer relevant to your growing situation. So in the ups and downs of the rather fast-paced and the very erratic flow of energy during the previous moon phase, if you've been feeling in any way tested or something in your world has run its course, then the overall dynamics today suggest that these areas may be highlighted for you, giving you an opportunity to evaluate and then, from a very deeply personal perspective, initiate changes. The planetary alignments overall also suggest unexpected communications, conversations, and also out-of-the-box solutions that centre on healing and sometimes reconciliation, with a desire to integrate responsibilities with love and in a way that's harmonious. And this in turn can suggest cooperation. So in areas of discord, we might see the potential for some really valuable progress. And in areas of your world that are already running smoothly, we could see solutions that support and enhance your progress, and they may show up unexpectedly. So this is quite an exciting day. I think we are potentially having to deal with some quite deep stuff. If there's anything that we're tackling that we really haven't wanted to address, it may well show its face, but it's an opportunity to let go of things that no longer serve, shift your perspectives, and initiate powerful, positive changes. Okay, so these are the exact times and dates for the full moon across a variety of different places in the world. The value of knowing the exact timing is because we often feel a big shift in the energy. A full moon illuminates, and this means that it will potentially illuminate the things we need to let go of, but also illuminate what we can do to move through and beyond these things. It can illuminate the pathway ahead. And when we're getting sort of messages in both directions, what we need to let go of as well as how to move forwards, it's very often this exact point when the energy shifts from the letting go of things to the moving beyond. Now, the moon then moves into her disseminating or waning gibbous moon phase, and this is a biggie. She's going to pass through Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn and into Aquarius. This moon time runs from May the 2nd to the 8th. And just check out these huge void of course pockets. Between the 2nd and 3rd of May, when she moves from Scorpio into Sagittarius, the void is 21 hours 47 minutes. Between the 4th and 5th of May, when she moves from Sagittarius into Capricorn, 21 hours 33 minutes. From the 7th to the 8th of May, when she moves from Capricorn into Aquarius, 17 hours 10 minutes. These are huge and they're significant. Also, the astrodynamics, the overall energies of this moon time suggest some very erratic peaks and troughs. Being alert to this is going to help you to harness this energy to the very best. So I would say be open and aware of potential possibilities. Be prepared to take the initiative. Dare to do things differently if you need to. Remember, during times of transition, particularly when the energetics are wanting to push full steam ahead, there is inevitably going to be some resistance or just some bumps in the road. Again, be conscious of this and be prepared to expand even if things feel a bit tumultuous, but be innovative in your approach. This is the way the energy is going to be most supportive. If you're currently feeling motivated and driven, then the energy of this moon phase is going to be quite helpful, and so may the void of course periods as well. But if you are feeling that the pace of change is all a bit too much, then this could feel really quite demanding. So be very conscious of the overall planetary influences and hold your integrity and be open to positive change. And if needs be, rather than, again, reacting, try to put an anchor down and just allow yourself to find stillness and try to find some clarity before responding, because I think that this is going to feel like we are being pushed, and that's marvellous if you wish to be pushed, but it may be quite challenging if you would like to stand still and just catch your breath. So this is a very powerful time. be very aware of those void of course pockets, because the high vibration of the void of course energy enables us to reflect and review rather than to react. The lower vibration is that we simply react. The moon then reaches her last quarter moon position. Every quarter moon offers us an opportunity to evaluate. The last quarter is much more sort of internal evaluation. Now, this will be on May the 9th or 10th, depending on where you are on our beautiful planet, and the moon will be in Aquarius. Now, we also have a void of course period when the moon moves from Aquarius through to Pisces. This is 12 hours 32 minutes, so we're kind of moving into the void. In the previous moon time, the astrodynamics were quite volatile, but could have brought some really innovative potentials, albeit in a rather up and down way. There were some very strong pushy waves of energy coming in as well. Now, a last quarter moon naturally invites us to walk our talk and to align with the higher vibrational energy of all that we want to see in the world. And the energetics today really support the consolidation of everything that you were shown during the previous moon phase. So, if at all possible, I would suggest trying to schedule some time on this day to either pause and reflect so you can consolidate your plans, or if you're still feeling really discombobulated or out of balance or a bit all over the place, just create space to regroup and realign, because the planetary alignments on this day are really going to support this process. And then as we move through the void in Aquarius into Pisces, you can begin sort of feeling realigned, particularly with your spiritual purpose and your spiritual practices. Pisces will really support this as we move through into the next moon phase. The moon then moves into her final phase for the moon month. This is the balsamic or waning crescent moon phase, and this is going to be an interesting one. We've got a lot of really big void of course periods again. Not quite as big as some of the others, but nevertheless they are significant. Now, this period runs from May the 10th to the 15th, and the moon will pass through Aquarius into Pisces, into Aries, and through into Taurus. Now, overall, the astrodynamics of this moon phase are actually quite flowing, and they are bringing quite a sparkly flavour of potential expectation and possibilities. And yet the energy is also quite steady, so this is really helpful. The lunar influence is actually suggesting a slightly more gentle approach. It's as though we can tune into a much bigger galactic picture with a recognition that both individually and collectively, basically, it's time for humanity to get our act together. And with the lunar influence of this moon time, it sort of holds us to account, and yet it also eases off the throttle a little bit at the same time, because everything's been feeling very pressured. Now, although progression is needed, there's definitely less pressure. So keep going, be steady, and go gently with yourself and others. And if the universe does deliver you a few gentle nudges along the way, this will be to help you move in the right direction. Now, bearing in mind all of this sort of overall flow of energy, let's just check in with these void of course periods. So on the 10th of May, when the moon moves from Aquarius into Pisces, we have a 12-hour, 32-minute void. Between the 12th and the 13th of May, when the moon moves from Pisces into Aries, which is a very significant point in the overall astrological dynamics at the moment, we have a 14-hour, 1-minute void. And on the 14th to 15th of May, as the moon moves from Aries into Taurus, we have a 4-hour, 59-minute void of course. Now, what I think is really, really interesting with these, if you look at the overall dynamics, these pockets of time could actually give us an opportunity to really reflect and consolidate. They could, rather than feeling out at sea, they could be opportunities almost to like press the pause button, look at the bigger picture, and align our energy and indeed our plans, our thoughts, our actions, our deeds with the higher vibrational picture, as it were. So I think this is going to be a really interesting moon phase. Do come back and comment as you navigate the month. I'd love to hear how this is impacting on you and in the immediate circumstances of your world, and also how you're using the energy. We then begin a new moon month. We always start a moon month with a new moon, and next month begins with the super new moon on May the 16th or 17th. It depends where you are on our beautiful planet, and the moon will be in Taurus. Now, interestingly, although the moon will move relatively easily from Taurus to Gemini, when she then moves from Gemini into Cancer, which is about a day afterwards, we have one of those huge void of course pockets of time, 30 hours, 11 minutes. Now, I will update you on this in next month's Moon Month Energy Update. Beautiful souls, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining me. I hope it is really helpful to have this information and to be conscious and aware of the incoming flow of lunar energy while we are going through such huge and dynamic changes. Tons of love to you all, and I look forward to seeing you again, either for another Moon Energy Update or for some of my readings here on this channel. Tons and tons of love to you all.